The following days blurred together, but Emma couldn't shake the way she felt during those sessions. It was like carrying a secret inside her, one she couldn't share with Kayla or any of her other friends. At school, she laughed and acted normal, but the moment she walked into that empty classroom after the last bell, everything changed. By the third week of tutoring, she was almost certain her grades had improved, but she hardly cared about that anymore. What mattered was the connection, the unspoken understanding she felt with Mr. Carter. Every time he encouraged her, every time he told her she was capable of more than she believed, it reached a part of her that no one else seemed to touch. One afternoon, rain streaked against the classroom windows, turning the world outside into a blur of gray. Emma loved rainy days, the way they made everything feel quiet and hidden, like the world had slowed down just for her. Daniel handed back an essay, with a bold B+ scrawled across the top. "You did it," he said simply, a proud smile playing on his lips. Emma beamed, clutching the paper like it was a treasure. "I've never gotten this high in history before." "You earned it," he said. "I told you you've got the ability. You just had to believe it." She laughed softly. "You make it sound so easy." He shook his head. "It's not easy. But the hard things are the ones worth doing." Emma stared at the paper, her chest swelling with pride, but also with something more complicated. She wasn't just proud of the grade. She was proud of the way he believed in her. She was proud of the way she had started to believe in herself. As the rain tapped steadily against the glass, the two of them kept working, the sound of pencils scratching and pages flipping filling the room. Outside, the hallways had grown quiet, the after-school crowd long gone. Suddenly, the door handle rattled. Emma's heart leapt into her throat. "Who's in there?" came a voice. It was the janitor, Mr. Harris, his keys jangling as he tried the door. Emma froze, gripping the edges of her notebook. Daniel stood calmly and called out, "It's Carter, just finishing up with a student." There was a pause, then the sound of footsteps retreating. Emma let out a shaky laugh, her hand pressed against her chest. "I swear, I almost had a heart attack." Daniel chuckled, returning to his desk. "You're a little dramatic, you know that?" "Maybe," she admitted, grinning. "But it feels like we're always about to get caught." "Caught doing what?" he asked, his eyes twinkling with humor. Emma blushed, fumbling for words. "I don't know. Just being here alone." His smile faded slightly, though his voice stayed gentle. "Emma, there's nothing wrong with you being here. You're working hard, and that's what matters." She nodded quickly, but the heat in her cheeks didn't fade. That night, Emma replayed that moment again and again. She told herself it was harmless, that she was only nervous because of how other people might perceive it. But deep down, she knew it was more complicated. She liked the secret. She liked the way her heart raced when someone almost walked in. The next week, Kayla started asking questions. "Why are you always late to practice now?" she pressed one afternoon. Emma shrugged, trying to sound casual. "Just extra help in history." Kayla smirked. "Extra help, huh? With Mr. Carter?" Emma's stomach tightened.
Yeah.
"What's that supposed to mean?" "Nothing," Kayla said, though her grin suggested otherwise. "Just saying, he's kind of cute for an old guy." Emma rolled her eyes, forcing a laugh. "He's not old. Compared to us, he is," Kayla teased. "Don't worry, I won't tell anyone you've got a teacher crush." Emma swatted at her playfully, but inside, her heart pounded. Was it that obvious? Did other people notice? The thought made her both nervous and strangely thrilled. Over the next several sessions, Emma felt the tension growing. The work was real, she was improving, her grades climbing, but the quiet moments between explanations, the lingering glances, the way she lingered in the doorway before leaving, all of it built a kind of suspense that left her both excited and afraid. One Thursday, as the sun set in streaks of orange and pink across the sky, Emma stayed longer than usual. She was supposed to be gone by 5, but the clock ticked past 6 before she even realized it. Daniel glanced at the time and said, "We should probably wrap up. The building will lock soon." Emma didn't move. She sat with her chin resting on her hand, staring at the essay in front of her, but not really seeing it. Finally, she whispered, "I don't want this to end." Daniel blinked, his brow furrowing. The session. She nodded slowly. Yeah. I mean, I feel like I'm finally getting somewhere. I don't want it to stop. He smiled softly, though his eyes searched hers like he was trying to understand something unspoken. Then it doesn't have to. We'll keep working until you feel ready. Her chest tightened. She wanted to say more, to tell him what she really meant, but the words caught in her throat. Just then, the sound of footsteps echoed in the hallway again. Emma's pulse skyrocketed. She grabbed her pen and whispered urgently, "Please don't stop. Just keep talking." Daniel, without hesitation, launched back into his explanation of the Bill of Rights, his tone steady and professional. Emma leaned closer, pretending to follow along, though her ears were tuned only to the footsteps outside. The door rattled once, then fell silent. Whoever it was had moved on. Emma sagged in relief, her pen slipping from her fingers. "That was way too close," she muttered. Daniel chuckled softly. "You've got quite the imagination. You act like we're sneaking around doing something forbidden." She gave him a sheepish smile. "Doesn't it feel like that sometimes?" He didn't answer right away. Instead, he gathered his papers, his expression unreadable. Finally, he said, "Sometimes things only feel risky because of how others might see them. What matters is knowing the truth." Emma nodded slowly, though her heart was still pounding for reasons she didn't fully understand.